Hello everybody, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Land Warfare. I'm 4040 and with me today is Mr. David Duckane.
Hello there.
And we are in the cockpit, the front seat of the cockpit of the Pathfinder. We're all set up. We are going to be running a strike mission to first of all, we're going to be going to the Kermin Lake runway, which is where an attack originated from that went for the Kerbal Space Center. And then we are going to be hopefully, if we've got, once we've landed and we've refueled, we can move on to Ben Bay and take out the regional control center, which means that the whole eastern border of the Kermin Peninsula should be ours for the taking. So that is the plan. What I am going to do is we're going to turn SAS on and turn the engines on, which is a cool little feature from within the cockpit. Looks like we are throttled all the way back. So I'm going to be taking off. We've got our action groups all set out, so I'm just going to hit C to come out of the cockpit view. There is our lovely ship, the Pathfinder. A few small changes from last time. The wheels have been moved so they are at the extremities of the craft. This is because taking off and landing wasn't exactly easy. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be taking off the brakes, throttling up, and we're going to build some speed up, get some energy into the wing surfaces before we can take off. We have a full payload of harm anti-radiation. Ooh, bit of a bumpy takeoff there. Let's pull the gears in. So we've got a loadout of air-to-ground laser-guided small missiles, which are hard to shoot, which is the reason why I quite like them. Nicely backlit by the engines here as well. We have 4 anti-radiation harm missiles, which as long as somebody's trying to bounce a signal off me, I can try to basically lock onto it, and these will just go off and do their thing and lock onto the stuff that's trying to shoot me. And then we've got the 2 cannons. These 2 cannons have been the surprise, I guess. We didn't think they'd be that good, but those seem to be the things that we use a lot. Our usual tactic is fire off at least 1 missile, which gets the attention of the defences, which stops the defences from shooting at me. They act as decoys and also strikes, and then we shoot. And obviously the velocity of the weapon of the cannons is a lot higher than the missiles. So while the cannons and the defences are busy with the missiles, the cannon rounds will hopefully strike their targets, and then should at least disable the craft. And then once the craft has been disabled in some kind of way, then the missiles swoop in if they haven't been destroyed and finish off that target with a nice high explosive package. So as we are climbing, I'm going to be sorting out BDA Weapons Manager, and we are going to be bringing you back in when we are a lot closer to the target. It saves you guys having to sit through a bit of a long travel time. We are going to... The targets are over here. This is where all the targets are, on the mainland. So that's where we're going to be there. I'll be bringing you guys back in when we're a lot closer. Probably just before the targets load in. So we'll see you in a second, guys. Bye now. We are just passing over the coastline. As you can see quite clearly ahead of us is the Kerbal Lake runway, and we have got a target selected. I am zoomed in. We have to wait until it gets to 8 kilometers for it to load in, but once it's loaded in, it then stays loaded in for quite a distance. So this first pass, we basically have a short range pass. Now we are quite low, so I'm going to just up my throttle a little bit and see what loads in. I've got the goalkeeper Mark 1 highlighted. There's some other stuff there as well. Things are just very slightly lagging as things load in. Now there should be something... Oh, there it is. Tiny little glimmer of something there. There it is. Okay, so there is something there. But I don't want to fire a missile off or shoot it because I'd need to nose down. So what I'm doing, yeah, we've had a... We are getting pinged by two... Yeah, we're being pinged by two separate devices. It looks like we've got something down there as well. It's only picking up the debris for me at the moment. There's definitely something in there. Oh yeah, it says AA there, just briefly. So the flag's there, we've got the goalkeeper to take out. We just don't want to get too close to them. I need to fly away from them a bit. This is just a flyby. So we know what that is. Let's have a look at what is over there. Now there's something down there. It's just seeing just a pixel, and then you. Let's have a look. What's that? That looks like. It looks like something. I'm not quite sure what it is, but that is another thing that we're going to have to take away. Going to have to take it out. But as always, it's the goalkeepers which are always going to be the problem. They are the most dangerous defense that the enemy currently fields. The missile launchers, if I get hit by a missile launcher, I get absolutely wrecked. But I have a lot of countermeasures to do with spoofing missile launchers. There's lots of flares, I've got lots of chaff, I've got lots of smoke. It is the it's the countermeasures and the fact that when they're further missiles they tend to lock onto the nearest thing. So I've got the ability to launch my own missiles and help spoof them, just like I spoof the or at least try to confuse the goalkeepers.
I was going to say, haven't you had a few problems with a few of your defences launching in the past on here?
Yes. So we are being pinged by two properly definite sources there, and they're locking on to me as the angle of my airship changes. It changes the cross section that they can see. Oh, hello. We are starting to lose quite a lot of altitude. We're nosing down a bit, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to pull away a little bit from them. Circle back around. I'm going to, because we've got definite radar locks, I'm going to use harms. We're going to fire off a couple of harms, the AGM-114s, and we're going to use the howitzer. So I want my turrets to track where I'm looking, because I'm looking at, that's what I want to shoot. I'm looking at that goalkeeper turret over there. I know it's quite small. I can't really make it much bigger unless I fly closer to it, and I don't really want to fly closer to it because that's going to be a problem. That'll cause problems. I mean, we have a bad day.
Oh, you'll get lucky.
I mean, the closer I am, the more accurate the howitzers that I have are going to be. I mean, it's all very well having a computer aim for me, which is fine, but it's still the fact that it takes into account a slight amount of randomness, and the fact that I am moving forward at 150 meters per second is also going to have to be taken into account. Okay, I'm just turning the ship around. Now we're 8 kilometers away, but we are quite high up, so I'm hoping the harms at least distracts them. We're picking up triggers armed on Team B, and I'm gonna activate the harms. Now the harm is finding this particular one here at the moment, the some kind of double A. It looks like the missile launcher. It doesn't look like it's the it does not look like a goalkeeper. It looks like one of the missiles because it's got like it looked like it had a long tall thing standing above it. There we are. Okay, so we're going to fire Fire harm. Fire another harm. Okay, these guys are trying to lock onto me. You hear that constant pink, pink, pink? And now we're going to be firing the AGM at this thing. So 2 AGMs away. And now we've got the howitzer. Now you notice there's these missiles. No, we're going to be ducking in towards the targets now. As these missiles go towards them, we should get less of a ping. Now I'm just bringing the nose of my craft down, which is actually quite difficult. We are right over the target. First shot away. Second shot away. And I am pulling up and away. We are within 4 kilometers. Well, within 5, we're just within 4 kilometers of that missile. And they're getting close to the goalkeeper as well. So I am pulling up and away, and we're going to see. Now, right now, they'll have the best lock onto me because I'm offering a complete flat surface. Okay, counter round comes in and knocks out the goalkeeper. Counter round has confirmed hit the goalkeeper. Now I'm not seeing where the missiles went. They should still be incoming. I'm not seeing where they came from. Right, I'm gonna loop around, and it's kind of worrying at the moment because I don't want the missile battery to get a lock onto me. We are within its locking range. There's the missiles. They're the AGMs. Right, you're gonna zoom out from that location. I'm not sure why the AGMs have lost their lock and just zoomed off, unless we are just way too far away for them. All I'm going to do is zoom in on that location. Now the vehicles on the ground definitely will have their own defences, which could be why the missiles have just kind of spun off. We're going to use some of the harms again, because they seem to be able to get a good lock. Because the missiles might not have a massive amount of range. Yeah, there, you see that thing there, it's kind of sticking up. So yep. Coming back within 5 kilometers of the target, 4 kilometers of the target, so we're within firing range. So we're gonna fire a harm if we have any left. Yes, we do. So 1 harm missile away. Harm missile is away, and hopefully that's locking onto it. Okay, fire the next harm missile. Okay, harm missile away. And then AGMs, and we're just going to fire a couple of them off. They're pretty small and nimble. They are 2 away. And we're pulling off around. The harm seems to be tracking in, although I'm not sure if it is actually following the track of that thing. It definitely is curving in. The AGMs... Okay, the harm didn't lock on. Didn't find the lock. Which is disappointing. And the AGMs seem to be just going off. They don't seem to be doing their thing. And I'm a bit worried about this because this thing is still trying to get a lock onto me. Still trying to get a lock onto me. And I'm definitely locked onto it. The AGMs should be working. Let's disarm trigger, rearm it, reselect AGMs. We are laser designated. What I'm going to do is come back around and fire off, because we've got quite a lot of ordnance. We've used up our harm missiles, and they didn't seem to do much this time. They do work, do harm, but they do sometimes struggle to find a lock. And they need to find that lock. Okay, so that's our target, our intended target. We're 4 kilometers away. We're definitely locked on, so I'm going to fire one harm. See, that does seem to be curving away towards the target. Maybe I'm just been firing them with too much of a steep. There we are, second is away. It's definitely tracking onto the target now.
Yeah, looking quite a good flank.
I'm just going to flick over to howitzer and turrets. See what this thing does. Our jammer is still working, but it should be locking onto the AGMs as a priority. We are getting really close now. The AGMs now are properly tracking their target, so I'm not quite sure whether there was a slight bug in the system. But here come the AGMs. Direct strike 1, direct strike 2.
You might want to be pulling up.
Radar is gone. We are pulling up indeed. We are above the horizon. We can confirm that that is done. Okay. There are no hostile. There's no hostile radar at all. So I think we are good to try and come in and effect a landing. So I'm just going to throttle down to the 3rd. Definitely looks like the missile there has been dealt with. It was definitely a missile launcher. That tall stack of missiles standing up into the air, ready to fire straight upwards, is a dead giveaway. And then whatever is left down here of the target. Let's have a look. Is there anything left? There appears to be some kind of chassis left. I can see wheels, but it's not got a radar bounce, so I don't think it can. It can do that. I mean, the missiles are definitely much more effective when they do hit the target. It seemed that the anti-radiation missiles didn't quite make their lock on. It wasn't quite sure what it had to lock onto, so they just kind of went off and did their thing. At the very least, they're doing their purpose, which is acting as a, I guess, as a deterrent. So we're gonna disarm the triggers on the weapons. How many missiles we're holding? We're still holding quite a lot of missiles. I'm tempted just to fire them all off to empty the magazines. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Getting very close down there.
Yep, pulling the speed back. Okay, so targeting forward, off, warning receiver off, there we go. So we're just winding the speed down to about 100 meters per second. That's still very, very fast. Now, in the storyline, we can't really use these runways or anything because we can't trust that they are safe to use. But in actual fact, there's a bit of a bug with the mod. Hooray! Yay! Everybody loves moddy. Kind of. Yeah, everybody loves bugs to do with mods. And the reason is that the mod isn't 100% working as intended. I don't think. Let's flip over. Don't crash. Oh no, that's way too slow.
You got your brakes on?
No, I've not got the brakes on. I'm keeping the air brakes off. We just don't want to be going too slowly or ploughing into the ocean. Air brakes on. I'm saving the parachutes for when needed. Okay, deploying parachutes. Just to bring the speed of the craft down. That was really close to the ocean. We are turning slightly with the curve of the landing. That wasn't a bad landing, really. There we go. We landed with all souls safe. We are at a standstill. Parachutes have been cut. So we have arrived at Kermin Lake Runway. We've made quite the mess. Well, that wasn't bad. It's like a curved landing almost. That was completely unintentional. I was worried that we were going to hit the water there. But, yeah, that was not bad. Not too bad. Okay, so let's go into our cockpit view. Let's go into our main cockpit view. This one will do. Let's just quickly pull up our relevant screens. Okay, so we've got some good indication what's going on, and what we want are, here we go. So we're just going to activate this button here, and that just deactivates all of our engines and makes the aircraft safer. That's our fire button. We're going to leave that one alone. Okay, so that is the engines all turned off from within the cockpit. We're in the second seat of the cockpit. This is the weapons officer's cockpit, who gets to fire all the weapons and stuff and all their screens, because the weapons officer has additional screens on the left and on the right, and also got 3 in front, whereas the front cockpit has only got the 3 screens that we saw in the front of the video. So anyway, we have landed here, so we are going to just quickly get out of the vehicle. We're gonna have one of our crew climb out and let go, and we're going to walk onto one of the lowest parts of the plane, which is, I'm guessing, is just kind of slip down onto the wings. There we go. There are no ladders. And he's pretty much just going to go thump onto the ground. There you go. Thump. And he's fine. Or she is fine. No, it's a she. That's awesome. That is a she. One small step for Kerbin kind. One giant leap for the allied corporations. Yay. Okay, let's plant that flag down. They always turn away from you. They always want to face in a set direction when planting their flag. There we go. And now let's...
Perhaps all flags must point north.
Maybe, I'm sure there's something there. So this is Cryox Industries' first piece of property.
Official land.
Yeah, I mean, we've helped capture other ones, but they've been in your name. And this is Kerbal Lake. Airbase. Kerbal Lake Airbase. So there we go. We are going to finish this episode parked up at Kerbal Lake Airbase. If I can turn your light, yay! Turn your lights on. We are at Kerbal Lake Airbase, and we have planted the flag. This airbase is now the frontier of our. Is now the front lines. We are with our fight against the Northern Coalition, and in the next episode we will be taking off from here and flying over to Bend Bay and taking out their central operations. But as we've taken the 2 main runways, because the Kerbal Space Center runway and this runway are the only places that they can launch properly sized craft, we have severely reduced on the East Coast their ability to prosecute their war against us, and it has severely increased our ability to prosecute a war. So that is 2 bases.
That's a major blow.
Yep, so that's 2 bases for you and me. You've got the Kermin Island,
Mm-hmm.
which is the island just off the KSC, and you've got the Jeb's Resort. So
Yep.
you have a runway and you have a heliport, and I have 2 runways, and the Kerbal Space Center is also a launch pad. So if we want to use ICBMs of any description with any kind of payload, not just nuclear payload, that's where we'd be launching them from. There's only other one place here, and this is the headquarters, and we're not going anywhere near that until we've got our stuff together. So, in the meantime, I have been 4040. My co-pilot with me today has been Mr. Lord Darkane.
Hello.
And you guys have been amazing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.